Hello students, welcome to biology class. Today we are going to continue our chapter Reproduction and Organism. In that we are going to proceed with sexual reproduction. What is sexual reproduction? What is the function of sexual reproduction? And what will be the event taken place in the sexual reproduction? We are going to see today. Sexual reproduction. So it is the biological process where it involves the parent, that is the male and the female. So here you can see the representation, the diagrammatic representation of the character male and the female. So here I noted down the N. So N plus N. So this N and this N. So N will be considered as haploid. So the haploid which will be result into the 2N condition, that is N which will be transfer from the male gamete, okay, that is the sperm will be the male gamete. It has the N number of chromosomes and here it again contains the N number of chromosomes. So I will be explaining how many number of chromosomes which the male gamete and the female gamete consist of. So this N plus this N, it gives rise to the 2N. So that condition will be result in diploid in nature. So sexual reproduction involves both the parent and it exhibits the diploid condition of chromosomes. Yeah. Next, so when both the parents will be acquiring to form a new offspring. So offspring produced by the fusion of male and the female gamete. So when it produces the offspring will not be remain same. It's not be look actual copy of the parent, because only in asexual reproduction only it looks like a parent, it looks like a clone. But here in sexual reproduction it cannot exhibit that future because of the male character half and the female character half. So there will be the chromosomal character will be exchanging of the chromosomal abbreviations of numbers. Here the male parent which represent the 23 chromosomes, and here in female there will be 23 pairs of chromosomes to result to form the 46 chromosomal pattern to form a new individual offspring. And here there is an important point, share similar pattern of reproduction. Yes, of course, when you say the sexual reproduction, it shows the similar pattern of reproduction. So whoever the organisms, whichever the organism will be in the part of the reproduction life process, so actually there will be the same pattern to be follow all the thing. So this is all about the sexual reproduction. So here I am just going to show you the involvement of two parents. So one parent is male, another one parent is female. So here this male parent will be giving rise to the male gametes. Here female parent, female gamete. The result will be female gamete. Once the reproduction process gets over, so here there will be the 23 chromosomes will be shared. Again, even in female gamete, there will be 23 chromosomes. See, chromosomes plays a major role in the part of the heredity because it transfers the genetic material from one generation to the another generation. But it moves on to one generation to the next generation. Not only the parent character, that is the male parent as well as the female parent characteristic features, the genotypic character, the phenotypic character, that is the morphological and genetically character will be shared to the next generation. So that is called offspring. So what happened? Obviously there will be the change in the parent, yes or no? So there will be the male and the female involvement. Obviously what happened? There will be, when the two parent occurs, there will be the transferring of genes. Okay. So what happened? There will be automatically, there will be the rise in variation. So this point only I want to highlight this, because this sexual reproduction at end point, it results in the variation. So only we were telling that asexual reproduction and the sexual reproduction, when you compare to that, the variation will be plays a major role in sexual reproduction. So this will be playing major role in the part of reproduction in each and every organisms. Reproduction, it enables a species to live on to the next generation. So far we were discussing about that. Actually, how does it even taken place in this sexual reproduction? How does it part? How does it categorized? So they are the events which are categorized into three types. They are, okay, three types. They are pre-fertilization, fertilization, post-fertilization. So these are the three events which take place in sexual reproduction. So first, what is this pre-fertilization? So pre, it means first, okay, prime. So the pre-fertilization which results in the process called gametogenesis. So if you study about the gametogenesis are in the formation or the development of the male gametes and the female gametes, which will be results in the human or else in the flowering plants also. So gametogenesis process occurs in the human. So the male gametes, female gamete. So this will be the end product. So male gamete is sperm. Female gamete is ova. So the process involved in the production of male gamete is called what? Spermatogenesis. The process production of the female gamete involves in the female. It represents oogenesis. I repeat, the process of and the development of the gamete is called gametogenesis. So gametogenesis are of two types. One is spermatogenesis and oogenesis, which is results in the human. Okay, so when you study about the reproductive part which is in the flowering plant, so the male gamete, there we will be studying about the process called microsporogenesis. I repeat the point, microsporogenesis. Here in flowering plant, in female represents megasporogenesis. Okay, so this will be represent in the flowering plants. So these and all we will be discussing under the chapter 2 and the 3 in more detail. So this process, okay, so how the development, how the formation will be taken place and all will be happening, the developmental stages it occurs to the spermatogenesis, oogenesis, microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis. So that results in the event called pre-fertilization. Next, in pre-fertilization, another thing, one is gamete transfer. Even though there will be the formation of gametes, after their formation, the male and the female gametes must be physically brought together to facilitate fusion. Have you ever wondered how the gametes meet? Yeah, in a majority of organisms, male gamete is motile and the female gamete is stationary. Exception are a few fungi and algae in which both types of gametes are motile. There is need for a medium through which the male gametes move. In several simple plants like algae, bryophytes and pteridophyte, water is the medium through which the gamete transfer take place. Next event in the sexual reproduction is about fertilization. Yeah, so once the pre-fertilization process gets over, so next is about the fertilization, that is the male and the female gamete. Okay, the male and the female gamete are going to be fused together. Okay, so the fusion occurs, so that process we will call as syngamy. So the process of male gamete as well as the female gamete which result in the formation and the fusion, it results in what? Zygote. Is that YGOTE? Zygote. Okay, so if it is the XII, so there will be the sperm which is motile in nature. It actually hit the XII. So once it hit the zona pellucida region, so here there will be the break of the cleave of the cell will be occur. So once the acrosome secretes all the enzymes, what happened? There will be the male gamete, okay, will be fused into the female gamete. So this process is called what? Zygote. So here we're going to read another terminology, that is parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis. So as I said before, genesis is the development and the formation. So parthenogenesis, like for example honeybee or some rotifer, okay, or in some lizard and birds, so some undergoes, a female itself undergoes the reproduction process. There will be like no fertilization process going to be taken place. So without fertilization, it refers to the parthenogenesis process. Without fertilization. So this results in parthenogenesis. Events in the sexual reproduction after the formation of zygote which result in post-fertilization event. I will repeat, event in sexual reproduction, okay, after the formation of zygote which will be result in the post-fertilization event. That is the next step to the fertilization process. So here it results the two type, one is zygote and other one is embryogenesis. So first we study about the zygote. The formation of diploid zygote is universal in all sexually reproducing organisms. Here, in organism with external fertilization, the zygote is formed in the external medium. For example, usually we will be dealing this zygote under the water medium, okay, H2O. It undergoes a period of rest before germinations. In organism with haploid life cycle, diploid life cycle will be taken place only in this process called zygote. So zygote is a vital link that ensures continuity of species between organism of one generation and the next. And moreover, important thing is the life starts at this process called zygote. So every sexually reproducing organisms, including the human being, begins life as a single cell zygote. So next we're going to discuss about the embryogenesis. So here the genesis is the formation of embryo. It also refers to the process of development of embryo from the zygote, okay, from the zygote. So the zygote, which it undergoes a lot of cell differentiation, lot of growth, developmental process will be occur. So it results in the process called embryogenesis. So during embryogenesis, zygote undergoes cell division, okay, so it undergoes the development of embryo and also it acquires the cell division and self differentiation will be occur. While cell division increases the number of cells in the developing embryo, cell differentiation helps group of cells to grow to the certain modification to the cell. Okay, so it forms, see, from the cell, there will be the group of cells are called tissues, the group of tissues are called organ, the organ which is embedded to function as a system, to perform as a system called organ system. So that at last it will be developed as a new individual organisms. Okay, so here the animals are categorized into two types. One is oviparous and other one is viviparous, based on the development of the zygote take place outside the body of the female parent or inside. So here it will be result the internal fertilization, external fertilization. So external fertilization occurs outside the body, internal fertilization occurs inside the body. Okay, so that will be the thing. So what happened, for example, in oviparous animal, okay, oviparous is egg laying animals. So what happened, there will be the development to the fertilized egg which is covered by the calcareous cell. So that will be made up of the full form of calcium which laid in the safe place in the environment. After the period of incubation, the young ones will be hatched out. So this will be the result for the oviparous. So when you study about the viviparous and other hand, okay, so majority of mammals including the human being undergoes viviparous because most of the animals give birth to the young ones. So the zygote develop into a young one inside the body of the female organism after attaining into the young one inside the body of the female. So after this stage will be occurs, what happened? The young one, it will be take like the period of gestation which occurs. For example, if you take the Homo sapiens, so there will be the gestation period called 9 months. So in the 9 month, the embryogenesis process will be taken place. At the last month, the embryo was fully developed. So that embryo want to detach from the placenta. Okay, so that process we will call say as a parturition process and all. So all these embryogenesis process we will be fully we going to detail in the human reproduction chapter 3. Okay, so next in flowering plant, the zygote is formed inside the ovule. Okay, so there will be the zygote develops into the embryogenesis process. So the zygote develops into what? what? Embryo. And the ovules develop into the seed. So the ovary develops into the fruit, which develops a thick wall called pericarp in the flowering plants. So that's all about the post-fertilization events. So here, events in sexual reproduction, it includes pre-fertilization, fertilization, post-fertilization process. So I just do a recap. See, in pre-fertilization, it occurs only the process called gametogenesis. In fertilization, so there will be the process and fusion of what? Zygote. That is, in other term, we will call it as a syngamy. So next event will be the post-fertilization. So there will be the development and the growth of the zygote and the embryogenesis process to result in the new individual organism. So that's all about the events taken place in sexual reproduction. Students, in this video, we discussed about sexual reproduction in organisms. So here we cover the topic about the events taken place in the sexual reproduction. So the events we discussed about the pre-fertilization, fertilization and post-fertilization. So these all events will be going to be further discussed in the chapter 2, chapter 3 and chapter 4. Thank you.